Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Jared and this is Keen Reads, named after my wonderful dog. Today I was trying to sit down and think through what I want to read over the next couple months, and I was doing this. I figured I'd make a video about it. Just trying to put out some more content than I have been in the past while I'm motivated. We'll see how long it keeps up. But I have two stacks of books here. The first one is going to be books that I want to read that are following my plans that I had or the goals that I had for this year. And then I always try to read some other miscellaneous books to keep things interesting. So I have another stack of books that are not books that are part of my 2026 reading goal, but that I still want to read. Starting with my reading goals, first goal that I have talked about is my Virginia Woolf reading project, and I have The Years by Virginia Woolf. This is her second to last novel, so her last novel is Between the Acts. This was written before that. I want to say around like 1937, 1938. And this is the last of the 9 Virginia Woolf novels that I need to read. So after this, I'll have read all of her novels. I've already read all of her short stories. So after this, I will read probably her biography of Roger Fry next after that, and then move into her essays, which I've read a handful of her essays already, or her diaries or her letters. I'll pick one of them to start with. But this is The Years by Virginia Woolf. Next we have The Divine Comedy by Dante. This is translated by Alan Mendelbaum. Yes, Alan Mendelbaum, who actually is the same translator of the Aeneid that I read. So cool to have a similar translator, even though they're from different languages, which is interesting. The Aeneid was written in Latin, I believe, and this was written in Florentine Italian. Actually, one of the first books written in vernacular, which is kind of cool. So this is a part of my just catching up on big classics that I haven't read goal, which included Paradise Lost, Dante's Inferno, or not Dante's Inferno, The Divine Comedy, as well as Ovid's Metamorphosis. So this is the second of the 3 books. This book really needs no introduction. Everyone knows about it. So this is The Divine Comedy in an Everyman's Library edition. I really like these editions. Continuing with my Shakespeare reading, we have 2 Shakespeare books that I want to read over the next couple months. I'm a little behind on my Shakespeare. I was trying to read one a month, but I've only read one. I've only read 3 so far this year. So this was number 4 and 5, and this is The Two Noble Kinsmen, which I believe is one that he co-wrote with someone else. I might be making that up. I'll let you know once I read it and review it. And then we have The Merchant of Venice, which is one of his more popular plays. So I'll probably read this one first, just because I'm a little bit more excited to read this one. But we have 2 Shakespeare plays. And then following my romantic poet goal that I had. So I'm currently reading the complete poems of Samuel Taylor Coleridge. I'm almost done with that, hoping to finish it this week or early next week. So then I'm going to read the Biographia Literaria, which is a collection of his nonfiction, published in 1817, I believe. So this is, I think, it says it's collected works, but it's not his collected works. I don't know why it says that, because he wrote just so much, an insane amount. But I think this is just a collection of essays that he wrote, is my understanding. But we will see. Kind of excited to dive into this. I was more excited when I was jumping into this romantic poet project. Coleridge was the one that I was actually more excited to read his nonfiction than his poetry. So there's that. So I think I'm going to be reading something according to all of my... Oh, and then I have one more. And this is... Actually, no, this is not according to my goals. Sorry. So I think I'm going to be dabbling into all 4 of my goals over the next couple... Or 4 of my 5 goals over the next couple months. The one goal that I am not going to be reading anything for over the next couple months is my modern poetry, or 20th and 21st century poetry, what I wanted to read. But I'm reading Mary Oliver right now. I'm hoping to finish that this week. Actually, I'll probably finish it today as well. So that's kind of going in accordance with that goal. Next, I have a stack of books that I want to read just because I'm curious about them. It's where my interests currently lie. So I'm always trying to read according to my goals, as well as what I'm currently interested in. And this is, first of all, Jorge Luis Borges' Selected Nonfictions. Again, this is literary essays. spine's a little beat up, but I really like these editions. I think they're Penguin Deluxe editions with like the flaps. I've already read his complete fiction in this edition, and I also have his selected poems. But Borges is someone I'm more interested in his nonfiction than his poetry, I think. I think he's a great thinker. I really love the ideas that are in his fiction. I'm curious about his poetry, I would say is the right word. But I'm excited about his nonfiction. So that's why I'm tackling that first. Next we have some more E.M. Forster. So on my last video, on my first weekly wrap-up video, I talked about 2 Forster books that I read. Forster. I keep saying Forester, but I'm pretty sure it's Forster. I'm very bad at pronouncing things. So I've read Maurice, and I've read A Room with a View. So I picked up what I think are probably his other major works, which is Howard's End. I really like this Vintage International edition, this cover. I typically don't like the vintage books, at least their covers and what they look like. I don't like the back of it. I also have Claudius and Claudius the God in these editions. But I do like this cover, actually. So Howard's End, and then A Passage to India. And then I have a nonfiction book, The Aspect of the Novel, or Aspects of the Novel, which I'm guessing is just his thoughts on what makes a novel, or what makes a good novel a good novel. So excited to dive into these. I will probably read these next after I finish the ones that I'm currently reading, is what I'm thinking right now. Maybe I'll dive into some Shakespeare next. I don't know. We'll see what happens when I finish the next book I'm reading. Then we have a really ugly looking book, which is The Quiet American by Graham Greene with a movie cover. But I got this online for $3. I saw it for $3 online, so I picked it up. And this is the last of Graham Greene's works that I've kind of been interested in. I think there's another one called Our Man in Havana or something along those lines that I might read eventually if I find a copy of it. But this is the last edition, or the last of his books that I'm kind of seeking out. I think I've read, this will be his 4th or 5th, or probably the 5th or 6th that I've read by him. So The Quiet American by Graham Greene. Really liked everything that I've read by him, especially The Heart of the Matter. That was one of my favorite books that I read 2 years ago in 2024. And then just 3 random books that have been sitting on my shelves for a while. So I actually just asked my wife, I said, hey, pick out 3 books that I'm going to read over the next couple of weeks, or the next couple of months, as a way of just kind of filtering through my shelves and making sure that the books that have been sitting there for a while get read. So I let her pick the books, and I tried not to critique or give any of my opinions on what I wanted to read. I just tried to let her pick a book and say, like, okay, yeah, I'll read it. So the first one's Brave New World by Aldous Huxley. This needs no introduction. Dystopian novel, kind of a counterpoint to 1984 from my understanding. I haven't read it, but The Moonstone by Wilkie Collins. And then The Short Stories of Catherine Mansfield. I really like this edition that I got. I got this for pretty cheap on eBay last year. So a New Zealand author, although she lived most of her life, I believe, in England, or at least her adult life, which was abbreviated. Had some interactions with Virginia Woolf, which is why I picked this up. Actually, I think I picked this up earlier this year when I was reading my Virginia Woolf biography that I read. So, Short Stories of Catherine Mansfield. And that's it. That's a lot. I won't read all of this. And mostly because my interests will change probably by this time next week. And I'll be reading something else that I didn't even talk about today. But I like to make plans and then change them. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you on Sunday for my next weekly wrap-up. Have a good day.